A school of fish, the balance between part and whole. Every shift or turn is the result of many individual moves, united under a common purpose. In the same way, our community is united.
I can't recall reading anything in history about this type of effort coming together.
From our county government dedicating millions of dollars to water quality, to friends groups putting in volunteer hours to clear invasive species. Our community is schooling for cleaner lakes as researchers, educators, volunteers, farmers, policy leaders, fundraisers, and recreationists, as big players and as small voices.
Well, if there's too much algae, then people wouldn't want to swim in the lakes at all.
This is how we partner.
It's amazing what they've done in the few short years that they've been in existence. They have brought the farmers to the table. They've brought the business community to the table, lake property owners to the table. And I just think there's a feeling of optimism about this particular effort.
We know that there's many different actions that have to happen to get our lakes cleaned up, and we can't do them by ourselves. Dane County can put money into our budget to make funding happen. We can put staff resources into education and outreach, but those aren't all of the things that have to happen. So it's really important that we have partnerships with so many different people and groups.
As citizens, we want them to take some tests so that people can have a good idea of what's really going on in the lakes on an hour-to-hour, day-to-day basis.
It's just really cool. Some days it's really murky, and some days it's really clear.
The more people understand about the lakes and the more they get engaged with doing monitoring type activities, the more people will have that have a strong interest in improving the lakes.
The importance of volunteering is huge in Dane County, and actually Dane County is excellent in its volunteerism. I work with a wide variety of groups, nonprofits, community groups, citizens, businesses, and they all go out and they do their part.
Once we're done today, we'll be able to see a visible difference.
This year we actually did a whole project where we went out and picked up all the garbage. We want our kids to be able to swim in the lakes, to learn about the lakes, and if we aren't doing our part, then it's not going to be there for future generations.
We identified the key problem, the most important runoff area on the whole lake, and it happened to be right here. It would not have happened without clean lakes. They picked up the ball, told us what to do, got Year of Pride involved, got the landowner involved, and followed this all the way through. It was the right thing to do. Once people were educated on it, everybody wanted to do what was best for the lake.
What Clean Lakes Alliance does is provide us with experts who are focusing just on the lakes here in Madison and Dane County, and they can come in and let us know what the legislation that's been proposed is going to do to our lakes.
Policymakers have to deal with a lot of different issues at the state capitol, so they really rely on groups like Clean Lakes Alliance that have multiple stakeholders that bring people from the business community, the environmental community, the scientific community together to come in and really help them understand how this policy that they're working on impacts real people.
What are the two favorite places in a recent survey of Madisonians? One was the Union Terrace, one was Monona Terrace. What makes both places? It's the lakes. You really need participation at all levels, horizontally, vertically. Governments, nonprofits, companies, individuals.
We're about halfway through a 5-year project to understand how the Yahara watershed works. We're taking kind of a long-term perspective all the way out to 2070. What might the watershed look like? All of this can come back to what's happening on the land in the Yahara.
It does suck blood. What happens with
It really helps kids and their parents realize that more is going on in the watershed than just the waves and the fish that they pull out of it, that there's an entire ecosystem below the water. Now we're working with groups like the Boys and Girls Club and Clean Lakes Alliance to help expand these programs throughout the city.
You have a lot of African American, Latino kids that can't swim. And so I think it's important for our kids to see our natural resources, to experience our natural resources. And we're not going to be able to give our kids the kinds of experiences they need unless you partner with other organizations who are subject matter experts.
So it is extremely exciting to see an unprecedented level of partnerships coming together for the lakes.